What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Austin here with NERDZOO.
And Eason.
And today we're going to be taking a look at Housemarque's new third-person roguelike shooter game, Returnal. Before we get into that, guys, please consider subscribing. We are a new channel, and we have a new stretch goal of 1,000 subscribers. When we hit that, we plan to relaunch the channel in a big way. That includes adding new content, things like video podcasts and a new NERDZOO show. So come be a part of the community, be a part of the first 1,000. We'd love to engage with you in the comments. Comment below why you subscribed. We'll see you guys there. Until then, let's get back to the video. All right, Eason, we're looking at Returnal today. You ever heard of Returnal?
You told me a little bit about it earlier, and I watched a couple trailers, and I am instantly hooked on it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, the only problem is that you need a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah. Actually, this might be playable on PS4. You know, I didn't even think to look that up. Anyway, ignore our ignorance. But yeah, PlayStation 5 is really hard to get. So, you know, maybe we'll get one day. Who knows? When the world stops falling apart. Stop scalping us. Anyway, so this game comes from Housemarque, and they're known for having great gameplay loops. So games like Resogun and Super Stardust, those are top-down shooters. So getting that third-person perspective in Returnal is a totally new take on their top-down shooter vibe.
Right.
I'm really excited to play this. This looks incredible. This looks like all the third-person shooter gameplay that I normally would come to love from any action third-person shooter, but with that rhythmic dodging action time gameplay that, you know, we're so used to seeing from Housemarque. They have that gameplay loop down, and being a roguelike, you're going to be doing it over and over and over again. You're going to be dying a lot. You're going to be coming back. You're going to have new builds every time you run.
Have you heard of Risk of Rain?
Yeah, I actually have. I've heard of Risk of Rain.
This is what Returnal reminds me of. Like it looks a lot like Risk of Rain, but with way better graphics. And it looks, I mean, Risk of Rain had a lot of cool mechanics and everything, but this just looks way prettier to me.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong in thinking that. They're pretty similar mechanics, especially as ideals go. Risk of Rain is a little bit more multiplayer centric, whereas Returnal is a little bit more single player centric with a social component. Returnal has this really unique. So before we dive into the social component, which is actually really interesting, I think you'll really like it because it's kind of unique. The basic premise of the game is that your character's name is Celine, and you are scouting out space, and you happen to land on this planet. When you get to the planet, you start walking around. Eventually, you find a dead body. Well, when you get to looking at that dead body, you realize you're looking at yourself, and that's a problem.
Oh yeah, I could imagine. it's you.
Imagine finding a body of yourself on a forum.
I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, I can imagine Celine is too. And that's where the eerie ambiance comes in. And it seems like this game is nailing it. First early impressions are very good. Obviously not too far into the story. I think most people have got about 4 hours in. You're going to be finding your body over and over and over again. And what's even creepier is that you're going to be finding audio logs that are of you explaining further information as you continue on in your journey, exploring this rogue planet.
Oof. Okay.
So that's all
what? I'm interested. Like, let me just bathe me in information. I like this.
I'm going to bathe you in information. So as Celine progresses, you're going to continue to find these audio logs, and you're going to continue to push on through the planet and hopefully get through different biomes. Right now, the only biome that we know of is this rainy, dark biome. As you explore, you are going to encounter these aliens, and all of these aliens have different telegraphed shooting patterns. And just like a top-down shooter, you're going to dodge and try not to get hit. This also is tying into the not getting hit is a really cool system called the adrenaline system. So if you go 3 kills without taking a hit, you get an adrenaline point, or you get adrenaline added to your adrenaline system bar every time, which is going to add like multipliers, and it's going to increase your build. You're going to get certain buffs. Every time you get 3 kills without taking a hit, you're going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So kind of being tactical, laying back and making sure you're getting those kills is kind of key to surviving Returnal early on.
Yeah, that's cool. It kind of rewards you for playing better. I like that. Yeah. That's cool.
And tying into that, active reload. So if you're a fan of Gears of War, yeah,
that's cool,
yeah, bro. You missed that active reload, huh?
Yeah, dude. I just love timing that shit.
Yeah. So same thing here. I mean, you pretty much get the idea. Different mechanic, but you get the idea. It's the same system. So you're going to active reload. You're going to be able to shoot better. And if you apply both of these techniques, dodging, surviving, getting the kills, and active reload, you're just going to pump. You're going to keep going. You're going to dominate early on. That being said, too, there's also the parasite system. So you find these parasites that will give you kind of a buff and a debuff at the same time. So it's a little bit of a give and take, and you're going to be able to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do without the parasite, but there's going to be something that bogs you down at the same time, whether that be an enemy like area of effect that you can't touch every time you kill an enemy, but you have a buff that helps you kill those enemies. So there's a lot at play here, and this is absolutely what we love to see from Housemarque. They're touching on something new for the third-person shooter genre. I'm very intrigued. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I know I'm going to get stomped and die 1,000 times, but once I feel like I get into that rhythm, I just get this feeling like I'm gonna hit the flow state and just slaughter aliens, and I love that idea.
Yeah, I mean, the game looks really cool. I saw the trailers and everything, and there's a bunch of like preview gameplay out for it now, right? Because they released the embargo.
Yeah, so a lot of the news outlets have a lot of really great gameplay footage, and I absolutely recommend checking it out. Everybody's got their own take on it, but watching all these videos across the board, it seems like everyone has really good first early impressions. They are being cautiously optimistic going forward because obviously it's not a review. I'm optimistic as well along with them. I love that the vibes are kind of universal from all over the internet. So I'm really looking forward to Returnal. And what it has to offer. I can't wait to see some of the newer biomes, maybe some bosses, and some other gameplay mechanics that maybe surface later on.
Yeah, so the social stuff, what's that all about? Because I know Risk of Rain is more multiplayer focused, but you said this isn't, but it's got a social thing. What's that even mean?
So yeah, so you're gonna have simple social things like leaderboards. Like obviously that's awesome. Trying to beat your friends, that's a great thing. Sometimes though, you're gonna come across a body of a dead player, and you might have the option to have that player come in as an enemy boss in the game, in which when you beat the enemy boss, you get an incredible buff. But these bosses are very hard. I get kind of Dark Souls-y vibes from this. So as far as progression goes, like I don't know if you're a roguelike person. Do you have any experience with roguelikes?
I played the crap out of Enter the Gungeon.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so Enter the Gungeon does like a similar thing. Like they have kind of like a hub world. I don't really foresee that popping up later on in Returnal, but progression is kind of similar. So like in Returnal, you're going to be hitting these milestone points in which you are making actual story progress. You're going to feel like you're progressing through the game and you're moving forward, even though you're dying consistently. In Enter the Gungeon, you're making these upgrades and you're unlocking these things, and then you're dying again and starting over. Returnal has that similar form, but in like a more linear single player story narrative progression style versus an upgrade style.
Okay, I see what you mean there.
Yeah, and you can see Celine doing some pretty cool stuff. So I almost wonder like what the game is going to look like, or what you're going to be doing or reacting to, or how these systems are going to evolve later on as you encounter even harder or more strategic enemies that are going to like necessitate a little bit more of a tactical approach. This is going to be really cool. I am super pumped for this game.
Yeah. This looks awesome. I really like it.
Just to touch on the fact that Housemarque is diving into this new kind of like sub shooter over the shoulder kind of genre with this like rhythmic style pattern strategic dodging shooting gameplay. I really like the fact that they're tackling this, and it is pulling elements in from other games that I love. I love Enter the Gungeon, for example, or Binding of Isaac, or games like that. I love top-down shooters. Resogun was fantastic, a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. They have this way of making you feel like the gameplay loops really matter. They're incredibly impactful. And when you're able to pull off these insane combos or get these really high scores, you walk away feeling amazing. What I love also is that Sony is really known for having these incredible, exclusively narrative-driven games that are primarily single player, even if they have sometimes like an offshoot multiplayer component. They're really known for that. I really think that Returnal is playing in the perfect playground and is going to have a really captivated audience. I'm really excited for Returnal and what this can do as an IP.
Aside from like Ratchet and Clank coming out, this definitely helps Sony's lineup too.
Oh man, I cannot wait for Ratchet and Clank. But yeah, that's another video.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I'm glad you like it. Hopefully we can get our hands on a console soon so we can actually dive in and give you guys some more content. But for now, this is what we got. We do plan on covering more with Returnal, so stay tuned for that. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, be a part of that first 1,000. We really want to build a strong, growing, and positive community here at NERDZOO. So we're really excited to engage with you guys. So make sure you pop into those comments. Tell us what you liked about the video. Tell us what you're looking forward to with Returnal, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.
Hey, yeah, thank you.